Hi, Simran. This is an overview of Feedsy. I have added some categories and RSS feeds, created some posts, and I'm editing in the FlowLab template. So I'm going to go through and show you how I've created a few things that you'll be able to also do. And hopefully this will answer some of your questions. So yes, you will have to collect these RSS feeds one way or another. One way would be to have a form where people are putting their RSS feeds in directly and you get those feeds. Another option is actually to find feeds. So for example, I have I did some research, and FeedSpot is a blog that actually is really great for organizing feeds that they find and keep track of based on ranking, followers, and authority. So here's one that I found on spiritual RSS feeds. So I've actually taken some of these for an example for the work that we're doing. What I wanted to show you is the back end of Feedsy. So I'm here and I've added some categories. So Feedsy has a category area, which is what I've created. So the one that I've created is spirituality. I'm just going to follow through with this because I did this on the Elementor template. So this is a category. So what I've done is I've actually added multiple feeds here separated by a comma and saved that. So we'll be able to use that category on a template because I know you want to limit a template by a topic. So the categories will allow you to do that very easily. So I'm going to go to Elementor because the interesting thing is that there is an Elementor Feedsy block. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and added that here. And in here is where you'll be able to add a title and description. This space is actually misleading. There are images here, but in the template that you're creating, it does look a little wonky. But anyway, so you have an option to add a little bit of information here. I've gone ahead and added the spirituality category in this field for field source. I've selected the number of items to display, how long these results are going to be cached. I have to get more information about that one. There's a sorting, so I sorted descending and etc. There's a bunch of different category settings. The other important one, though, is here where you can display metadata fields that I'm familiar with, and they're listed here are author, date, time, and categories. So you could see here you've got Teresa on February 28th at 1 p.m. published this blog, and she put a whole bunch of categories in her RSS feed to describe that. So you can also capture that information, put that in display on this template. Anyway, there's a few other things. I did do a thumbnail size for the image and created this feed. So you can definitely, when you create a page, use this element to create multiple templates with each one limited by a topic so that you can use that in your accordion and organize that. In terms of additional fields, I'll have to get back to you on that. It depends on the information in the RSS feed and what's available. So you could actually do some work with keywords, but if it's not in the feed, you won't be able to get that information. So you mentioned, for example, wanting the time it takes to read a blog. So that would have to be, I don't know where you would get that. But I'm going to show you something else that maybe that'll give you some information. So here I've gone to the page, and you'll see that the spirituality RSS feed is here, and it needs some work in terms of the design and layout, but one of the layouts is in a list. Another layout that's available is in a grid. But this is basically what you will see. And this is ordered in descending order. It has multiple feeds. And one other thing is that I've limited the excerpt. So there's that. So this is one way to display your RSS feed. And you got to note that this title is actually linked to the blog. So it's not linked to the post. So that brings me to the second part of the feed, and that is the ability to import posts. So you can create a blog post through the RSS feed. So I've gone ahead and I've run these, and there are 4 RSS feeds that I added here, and I put them in the import posts. So when you run them, what happens is they actually create posts. And I'm going to go ahead and delete these because I didn't know that at the time that I did that. But what you have here is you do have the blog post with the RSS with the articles that are available in the RSS. And what that allows you to do is create archive pages based on the categories. Interestingly, these are not categorized, but that might be just a detail that we have to organize. So what happens then is you have the ability to keep the person on your site. I'm going to go ahead and view this, and you'll see we have the ability to edit and customize this page. So having that, you might be able to then get what you want with adding the details of this blog post, such as tags or keywords, or time it takes to read the blog, or other features. So we could do something with that, I believe. So here is the article layout that currently exists. It's just standard. We'll have to hide some of this, but the good news is we can import them as blog posts, or we can display them as an RSS feed. I think this plugin is going to allow you to manage a feed by topics, and also be able to design it the way you want to. So that's all I have.